Hi everyone, I'm Jen. I wanted to talk with you about birds. Today was a full moon, and I don't know, I was extra emotional and tapped into some fears of losing my children and things like that. And it reminded me of an experience when my youngest was in sixth grade, and she's 23 now. And she came to me and was concerned that she was not able to do everything in life that she wanted to do. So I introduced her to the bucket list. But before I talk about that, that her words punched me in the gut because, this is something not difficult to talk about, but when she was born, I had a feeling that she would die young. And I never expressed it up until that point because what a horrible thing to say out loud. And I had my oldest child, and when I miscarried, I didn't even feel that about, when I was pregnant with the second one. But my youngest, when she was born, I just had that feeling. So, oh, when my child talked about it, I said, why do you think you don't have time to finish everything? And she looked down at the ground and said, because I think I'm going to die young. So before I told her about the bucket list, it was a mommy parenting opportunity to talk about how none of us know when we're going to die. And, that people, hey, Nelson, where are you? There you are. Hi. And that none of us know when we're going to die, but, you can be 100 years old and never have done one darn thing with your life. Or you could have a shorter life and you could just do everything your heart's desire and really live. So, it's the quality of life, not the quantity of life. And so I introduced her to the bucket list where you write down the things that your heart wants to do, and then you work on making those happen, and they somehow, from my experience, they just come across your lap somehow. And anyhow, she had on there that she wanted to sing the national anthem for a professional sports team in their arena. And wouldn't you know it, she sang with her choir. And hey, Nelson, no, that's not a scratching post. Psh, 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 psh. Sorry, guys. But she did sing the national anthem with her choir at Turner Field here in Atlanta. So that was amazing. And one thing on her list was swimming with the dolphins in the wild. Now, we had swam with them in, I should probably show you. We had swam with them. There we go. We had swam with them at Discovery Cove, but she's like, they're not in the wild, Mommy. And I said, well, that's something that would not be on my list because I wasn't thrilled about what else is in the ocean. So she was disappointed because she needed to go with somebody. And so we were fortunate. 3 days later, my sister, who lives in an RV, calls and says, oh, look, I'm going to be going to the Florida Keys. Do you want to come and meet me? And at first, I said, I didn't know because it was during school days and everything, and I was pretty strict about education. Anyhow, I don't even want to get to talking about the school education system, but whatever. But then my sister said that she was going to swim with the dolphins on the ocean. So just so you know, I'm pausing the story. My sister is an alcoholic and she is sober, but back then she was not. And she never recalls even saying she was going to swim with the dolphin. So, yeah, my daughter has not swum with the dolphins in the wild yet, but she it prompted us to do the trip. So I went ahead and packed up the car, the two kids and the dog, and I just drove for a couple days. And somewhere along the line, past the Florida border, where the middle of the highway, they actually have gas stations and stores there. and I received this unexplainable prompt to stop in the bathroom. And I'm looking at my kids in the rearview mirror. They're asleep. I mean, if you're a parent, you know you don't stop. But anyhow, the unexplainable was strong, so I honored it, and we went to the bathroom, got back in the car, and whatever. I didn't understand it. But then about half an hour later, the kids are asleep back in the, or falling asleep, and then I see this peppering of dots in the sky, and mile and mile goes by, and I get closer and closer, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's 100 birds, or 1,000. No, there are 1,000,000 birds. So I wait. It just felt so holy. It's just, you get shivers, and there was just something unearthly about it. And then I woke up my children, and they didn't even have to ask what. It was obvious why I woke them up. And we drove mile by mile until they passed. And then when they were gone, and the car was quiet the whole time, when the birds were all gone, my youngest says, "Mommy, remember when we were in the bathroom? I prayed that if my fate of dying early was going to change, or dying a young age was going to change, I was going to," sorry, that's such a tough topic for me. She prayed that she would be shown 1,000,000 birds, and she was shown 1,000,000 birds. So, and then later she said, "I didn't think that I would be shown 1,000,000 birds, so I asked for a palm tree, because I know there are palm trees in Florida." So I'm really glad that she was shown 1,000,000 birds. But ask for it. I don't know what it means. She's 23. She's still young. None of us knows what's going to happen tomorrow, but I don't know. She asked for it and it came. So do with it what you will. It's just a story I was thinking about today, and I love you all.